Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 2022 Nittany Invitational League of Legends Grand Finals. I am your host, Consolo. I'm joined here by Aru, Rook, and Bane of Hades. Teams facing off today are the Texas A&M University, the University of Southern California. So, who do you guys think is going to win?
Well, from the games yesterday and just a general look at the teams, I have a strong feeling that University of Southern California is going to come out on top.
I have to agree. I think the Humbler is going to carry USC to victory today.
Well, I could see that Texas A&M could win through having very active jungle and mid laner, but the meta right now I think favor towards the bot lane, so I believe that University of Southern California is going to win with a strong side bot.
I gotta go against you guys. I'm thinking Texas A&M University is gonna win. I think we've seen very strong performances from Greasy Watermelon and Arcade King from like all of the games we've seen so far, and I think that a strong jungle in mid lane makes or breaks pretty much every solo queue game, and I think that's just gonna keep true and competitive as well. I think that Rafflecopter playing the tanks in the top lane is just gonna allow his team to carry, and I think Genset and Tablea are both versatile enough to perform to whatever picks Greasy Watermelon and Arcade King. Thoughts on that?
Really, it comes down to, I think, Greasy Watermelon and Arcade King being the just immense force impact in the Summoner's Rift, on the map, that bot lane cannot be strong later on. I think it just really comes down to can they put impact onto the map.
And we saw it in yesterday's game one, Greasy Watermelon pulling off a huge performance. Not as good in game two, but we'll see how he flips in the upcoming series.
Greasy Watermelon, I think, is just going to have such a massive advantage over Daemon. We've seen Daemon pick a lot of engaged champions, a lot of setup champions. He's a Hecarim player, a Lee Sin player. We might see some Jarvan the Fourth out of him. And I think Greasy Watermelon can just capitalize on that. I think he can constantly invade him, constantly put pressure on the map. Because if Daemon can't get his carries ahead, Greasy Watermelon has no trouble picking them off and just finding that angle in team fights.
Especially considering how topside Rafflecopter, you talked about this, he likes to play the tanks. He's going to be in the weak side of the map, so that's a free reign for... Oh wait, that's the wrong way around, isn't it? Oh wow. That does make it somewhat difficult though to invade. If Greasy Watermelon has to invade, he has to play strong side bot, has to go in through the enemy's blue buff or red buff, respectively.
I think Greasy Watermelon can play with strong side bot lane, even though USC is going to be trying to play through bot lane. A lot of the time that does mean picking a hyper carry that might be weaker early. That can get punished by the Lucian Namis, or even the Ezreal Blitzcranks that we've seen out of Genset and Tablea. I think that really Greasy Watermelon can just constantly take Drakes, constantly put pressure on the map that way, and even if his top side is losing, Rafflecopter, he mostly plays champions that have impact from behind. He plays Shen, he plays Malphite, champions that always have that R button to win the team fight, win the skirmish.
No, I gotta agree with that a bit as well. There is a chance for Texas A&M to win, with especially mid lane on the University of Southern California, Bird of Steel, Bird of Steel, sorry about that. Bird of Sand playing sedentary mid lane with Malzahar and Swain and these kind of champion, and then Arcade King. He plays a similar kind of style mid laner, but more meta, more active, and much more stronger early with Victor kind of pick. And it is possible that they can use that lead onto crushing bot lane for the Texas A&M. Yeah.
Do you think picks like Kai'Sa are going to be contested in terms of pick and ban?
I think Kai'Sa mid is strong enough that even if Kai'Sa bot lane, it would really only be picked by the Humbler when he's trying to hard carry. I think Kai'Sa mid might actually be contested by Arcade King. I know that's been meta in pro play, I think, for a little while now. And I think that that's going to be so powerful. It's either a hyperscaling bot lane, which one team really loves, or a very powerful AP mid lane, which the other team loves, Texas A&M. It's just such a powerful pick in the meta right now, especially with the AP build.
Likely to be a pick or ban. Another thing I want to talk about as a strong pick or ban is going to be the Trundle, something Kimchi22 really enjoys. It can be flex top and jungle, and it just does so well into so much of Rafflecopter's champion pools. As a Trundle player yourself, what are your thoughts on the top jungle builds?
Now, I am a Trundle enjoyer. Now, Kimchi and Daemon, they both can pick it. Kimchi, because it fits with his counter pick playstyle, he really just fits whatever his team, fits whatever the enemy team doesn't need. Rafflecopter plays a lot of tanks, which are obviously very hard countered by Trundle, especially Shen. The second Shen leaves lane with an ult or a teleport to save his bot lane, Trundle just takes everything. You can take probably up to 4 plates, and the full tower even, if he gets enough time. And then Daemon especially, I think, would really enjoy playing it. He plays a lot of engaged setup champions, Hecarim, Lee Sin, but if he has a Trundle, that pillar obviously really useful for engaging, really useful for engaging. It just means that his carries get to play a little bit safer. And I think that's really not what Greasy Watermelon wants. I think he wants to have that open shot directly to the Humbler, directly to maybe even Bird of Sand if he's caught out. And Trundle's just fantastic at just stopping that right in its tracks.
Do you think there's going to be some Renata gamers today?
I think Renata's going to be definitely a contested pick. She's really strong just on her own. And I think, like, especially with Bird of Sand playing that supportive style, if Bird of Sand and Inferno both get to take their supportive champion, Inferno on Renata, Bird of Sand maybe on Lissandra, I think that the Humbler is just going to have the freest game of his life. He gets free roots, free stuns, he's brought back to life when he dies. It gives him everything that he wants. I think Tablea also would really, he enjoys that, because Texas A&M's bot lane, they play basically whatever their team needs. They play around the mid and the jungle. And if the jungle gets a Renata to bring him back when he dies, I mean, that's just fantastic for him. Greasy Watermelon would love that.
Especially with his very aggressive play style that we saw in the last games, always going in for those plays that you don't think will work, but somehow he just makes it happen.
What do you think of the possibly like Zed jungle again from Greasy Watermelon? Do you think that is possible? Maybe Talon jungle?
I think it's possible. I'm not liking the pick. Zed and Talon jungle, I feel, are both more solo queue playstyle champions than a competitive build of a playstyle. I think they capitalize off the enemies not knowing where they are. They capitalize off the enemies not having coordination. And that just doesn't happen when you have a support warding the map, when you have everyone in comms calling it out. I think it would take a lot of early kills on Bird of Sand probably to get the Zed jungle ahead. And Bird of Sand doesn't play champions that really die to Zed jungle. He plays just flee, run away, live to fight another day and help out his carries. And I don't know, Zed jungle, Talon jungle, I feel as though they aren't really fantastic picks in today's meta. Right. So, with all that being said, have any of you changed your opinions? Have you switched over to the Texas A&M side?
I have to say, as good, you've made him sound very good, but I still think University of Southern California is going to take it. The side of them, the previous games have just shown too much strength where it matters, and I think they're just going to go all the way, 2-0.
Yeah, I think USC is going to humble Texas A&M.
With the Humbler?
They can look. You know what? I'm gonna change my mind.
Oh.
I'm gonna change my mind. I'm gonna give a benefit of the doubt for Greasy Watermelon. I think he could possibly, because we have seen how he performed onto PSU team, D1 team, and then I mean he was amazing. He stole Baron, not the Baron, he stole Dragon into 1v4, and I think he
You think he's going to carry it?
I think he can definitely carry it, yeah.
All right, well, I'm sticking with my Texas A&M pick. It's going to be a great game. I'm excited to watch, and I'll see you all on the Rift.
All right, welcome everyone to the 2022 Nittany Invitational Grand Finals. Thank you very much, Analyst S, for taking us through the teams, through your predictions. All very, very good. It's been literally the first time since we had that, so excellent timing. Once again, I'm Invitational, joined here by Runk.
Yay! I'm excited.
Yep. And returning to the casting desk, Mr. Pop Draft, sir. It has been a while.
It's been a long, long time. I only come out of retirement for banger games, and I hear today's going to be a big banger between Texas A&M and Southern California. So I'm excited. I came out specifically for this, and I think it's going to be a banger game. Thank you again to our analyst desk. Once again, now I know what I'm going to talk about, and let's get into draft.
Yep, we're right on in, not even needing the pro draft for this game as we have USC on the blue side, Texas A&M taking the red for game one. We'll have to see what the bands are being. Both these teams have dominated the Rift so far in their first games. The only 3-game series for either of them happening just in the semifinals versus Penn State White for Texas A&M and USC taking out NYU, a pre-tournament favorite for a lot of us, at least on the caster's desk, with how they were showing their displays. Kimch22 having a great game against Sayer, and last time in Rothlicopter as well, even though playing a lot more weak side. Outstanding performance, Greasy Wildman popping off on that Lee Sin pick. We're going to see what they want to go here in game one. So far, USC taking away the Vagar, getting Arcade King off of that patented one trick.
We're going to see the Kaisa band coming in next with the Analyst X5, but quickly followed up by Zeri. 2 powerful ADCs, Kaisa also serving as that powerful mid-flex as we had talked about.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of damage coming out for the AP Kaisa off of both teams. For whatever reason, Luden's Kaisa is a dominant pick into most team comps. Consistent damage, fits into mostly any comp, and if you don't pay attention, she'll scale really, really fast. And great to get out of the way. I love the Hecarim ban coming out of Texas A&M. Damon got Hecarim way too many times yesterday. It shouldn't have been allowed. It's his dominant champion, and it's glad to get that out of there. Too much pressure on the back line. Now freed for Texas A&M.
Yep. USC locking the Karma here on B1 has been a very prevalent pick so far in our Nittany Invitational this time around. Has been used by UNC Inferno, Saren, all these other people, not Saren, sorry. Chandris from Penn State White, explicitly throughout the tournament, does deny a lot of the Renata picks as well. I don't see what Tamu's answer. They're going to go with the Ashe into it, and maybe even USC now looking towards that Ezreal pick they've been seeing. We saw Humbler do an exquisite job on lethality with Essence Free for Ezreal, so could see it here in game one, but instead, looks like Texas A&M cycling through some very interesting picks.
Well, we're going through
Or
the
we
whole,
could just go Yumi.
We're going through the whole page, not the Yumi. Oh, no.
Come on, give me
No.
the Yumi. I want to talk about Yumi.
Oh!
Oh, Lulu!
All right.
Still an enchanter, still very strong in the current meta. Maybe not Yumi with a single bump up tie cop, but is an enchanter that gives a lot of agency over your 80 carries, and as well as any carries you have in a team. Olaf is one of the classical examples of this. Also works well with Yumi, for instance. But it looks like Damon and USC looking towards that Ezreal again.
They left it up.
Yep, Humbler humbling quite a few 80 carries in this tournament thus far, but
Oh, he's teasing us a little here.
Teasing.
Will he
Oh,
cycle
we all
back?
know he's going back to the Ezreal.
oh!
Wait a minute, that's a Karma mid.
I was thinking there could be a bit of flex going on here. I did not think they would be willing to show the flex so soon with the Nautilus, but seeing the Lulu, they just said, you know what? We're going to do it. We're going to put this on Bird of Sand.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a very early flex pick for the draft. Nautilus on 2 with Karma Flex is certainly an interesting turn. Sees that Lulu and just says, nope, we're going this way, and the Jarvan as well.
Yes.
And so far, USC setting up with 3 great sources of both Peel and Engage, and we're still missing a lot of that carry potential. Still a lot that USC can build on in this draft into that second phase. Maybe Texas A&M tries to fan out a little bit of mid lane, pinch top lane, depends on what carries they want to take away. Instead, they're going to grab some scaling Engage of their own potentially here with the Orn Hover and the lock-in on 3.
Yeah, the Orn's looking there, seeing Nautilus Karma, not a whole lot of damage. Even if the Karma does go AP, she's very bursty. But what Orn is going to say is, okay, I'm just going to stand here and you're never going to do damage to me. So he's basically going to force them to pick some hyper carries that can shred him. I'd imagine these bans are going to go towards those big carries.
Yep.
Plus, Ornn is a really good pick into a lot of the Hullbreaker champions that we usually see coming about. He's good in anything heavy armor. Great into Tryndamere. We don't see much Darius anymore, but most scaling things like Tryndamere, literally any other champ, Set's good. And it's really good counter into that because you can build pretty tanky, survive lane phase, kind of shut them down. You survive all those ganks, and then later in for the team fights, you got really good. I do want to say I like the early Karma pick for one specific reason, because we saw they picked the Lulu, they flex it immediately. They have the Karma, they flex it. Okay, we're waiting, we're seeing what the bot lane's going to come out with. They come out with Ashe Lulu. Now that's just Enchanter chill lane. What's good into Enchanter chill lane? All right, forget it. They want to die, they're going to die. We're going to pick Nautilus, and we're just going to go right into them. We have full ADC roam. We have full ADC counter pickage now. We can pick Jarvan pretty much unpunished. And to be honest, I think USC is way, way better in terms of drafting here. But, Lee Sin.
Yep, Greasy Watermelon bringing out old reliable here. Saw it pop off yesterday. versus Penn State White, the greasy Lee Sin, as chat definitely called it. And it looks like USC might be looking to pick up their first of the hyper carries here. Camille the Hover is classically one that we've been playing to Ord quite a bit since both of the champions' introductions into League of Legends. This is a very well-known, well-documented matchup that
Why does she
Camille
do true
eventually,
damage?
can't take
Why
after
Why
shot.
does her leg half health my ADC?
Half health is generous. That's being
We get
generously
to
on the low
level
side.
11,
Yeah.
the ADC might not get 2 hits.
I say half health is being very generous toward the AD carry on that one. But yeah, Humbler gonna lock in the Camille for Kimch in top lane and take that up into Rufflecopter on the Ornn. Now Rufflecopter, generally speaking, so far in this tournament, not been on the huge carry side of the map. Hasn't playing more either supportive, tank, engage, whatever he needs to do to kind of fill out his team. I believe the Shen was one that he played yesterday to some success.
Ooh.
But we're gonna get Lucian into Ash Lulu.
Yeah, the ADC pool running a little thin. I don't think Ezreal is that great with the Nautilus. Really goes against the whole all-in thing. So I was thinking through ADCs. We saw Samira banned, Jinx is already gone, Kai'Sa's gone, Zeri's gone. So Lucian recently getting buffs a couple weeks ago. See how he does into the Ashe.
No way.
It can't be.
No way.
This is very good to Karma mid.
my
This is
God.
very good to Karma mid. This is Arcade King Kale mid lane into Karma mid. Now, if USC really wanted to be savants here, they go Lucian mid and do Karma ADC and pull a Reckless, which is another angle. Wouldn't recommend it this game, but you know that's an option to punish the Kale early game because Lucian will just absolutely dominate that 1v1. But yeah, this is a very solid pick for Arcade King in mid lane. Just kind of sit back in the early game, let Karma get that push in. You know this champion isn't going to go really hard in the late game with a ton of late game scaling damage. You can let them kind of run your lane early. Jarvan, Camille, already strong top side 2v2. You already win the bot side 2v2. As long as Kale isn't roaming down, which Kale's not going to want to do, USC still going to have full control of of both side lanes, both the top and bot, to really make whatever plays they want. So this is really nice for Texas A&M to get that nice late game scaling pick that can survive the Karma and allow Kale to get along heavy early. You do have to be careful if some Jarvan dives mid, but for the most part, definitely an interesting pick to round it out. We're going to have to see how Greasy Watermelon decides to play around these more scaling sides of the map, as Lee Sin is not likely too favorable into, but USC with something that just wants to get aggressive early and keep in that driver's seat the whole game through.
One thing I heard consistently out of that analyst desk was bot diff, and all I see right now on USC is bot diffage. They have all in. They have a lot of aggressive picks. They're going to all in level 2. If they get those early kills level 2, that sets up all the objective prio they will ever need. Jarvan will not have to worry about the rest of the map ever again. He can stay bot. Camille can handle herself, and the Karma can consistently roam bot lane. Everything bot side will be USC's if they get the lead early. Now, however, if they don't and they're able to stall out, Texas A&M are going to be able to do. Once they get Kale, again, the time starts ticking. Once 35 minutes hits, the game is over. This is how this works. They have an Ornn that can team fight the entire consistent team fight CC. They have Kale who does things. Ashe, we got arrows all over, and we have Lulu ulti to buff it out. So if they let the team fights happen, it's not good for USC. So it's all about aggressive picks versus live to team fight. So I think it's just going to see what happens where the gold rolls out. But I think they got some pretty good balance.
Runk, what are we feeling here in game 1 draft? You like more Texas A&M or USC kind of guy this game?
I am really liking Texas A&M right here. I think, as Mr. Pop Giraffe said, we're on a timer right now. We've got Kale. She doesn't necessarily need to be level 16 to really start. At level 11's when she really starts cooking, level 13 even. Ornn hits that level 13 when the ornaments start coming in. It's going to help curb Lee Sin's falling off as he normally has. Camille is going to have to blow somebody up, but the issue with that is Lulu has the single best point-and-click CC in the game with a suppression and slow on her polymorph. And the other thing is, even if Nautilus is going to hook them early game, Nautilus can be a little frustrating to play into Lulu because of Lucian. Obviously, he's going to want to dash in and start bursting people. Lulu presses WE, and Lucian can't do damage. So it's...
But would they sacrifice the polymorph on the Lucian just for him to come back up? Because that's still a lot of CC from a Nautilus if you don't do anything about it.
It's going to depend on the situation. I think if Karma's there, they just do it and run away. The Nautilus, the issue with it is once he Qs his auto cast already, and you're locked up slightly longer than the hook lasts. So on Lulu, it's actually kind of difficult to get your polymorph off once Nautilus hooks you. If he hooks the Ashe, you're fine, but you can actually get stuck and then rooted, and at that point, even if you polymorph the Nautilus, the Lucian's on top of you, and he's go pew 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 pew.
Yeah. As he does.
He does go pew 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 pew.
Yep, and we'll have to see which one of these teams comes out on top. It will be a very interesting matchup. Looking for USC to be ahead, mostly in the early game from, Jarvan Jungle certainly doesn't want to sit back and hard farm the whole game. He's looking to make stuff happen, make plays, maybe even see some mid dives on that kill I see Arcade King piloting. But,
We got punishable lanes, but they're not punishable for long. And that's
no, sir. And we're going to hop on into the loading screen. We get to see about runes next, which will be fun as well. See how we stack up. Anything interesting?
Skins.
This is not going to be... Now, the thing we saw the other day was First Strike Jarvan, I believe was a pro matchup in the LEC. Rogue's jungler goes First Strike Jarvan. Every single game builds full tank with... what's the item called? Chem Tank. He goes Chem Tank. Essentially, his early game, still fine. Get the extra bonus damage off of the First Strike, and then you can immediately go into just full tank support build. All you're trying to do is buy time for your team and initiate. So you go Zonya's second item, and you get the AP scaling on your E. It is a really cool build. We're absolutely not going to see it this game. I would be
you're asking for it. Now I
extremely
wanna see
surprised. Well, we don't have First Strike, so it's already not there. But it looks like
Getting
we
a
might...
little spicy.
Yeah, level 1 attempts here from USC. The
Flash!
Ooh.
Flash for flash out of the Kale.
All right, Kale is now punishable.
Yep, that's an early flash.
And Inferno has Hex Flash, so he really does not care.
Nope. Nautilus still going to be able to generate the same amount of pressure regardless of that initial flash burn, and that'll be up probably before he even gets a lot of roam timers off.
That's
in
true. He's
essence.
going to be.
Oh my, this is a dirty
They
invade
were
if they go for
spotted
this.
on the ward, so they know they're there.
Yeah, the question is, where in the jungle are they? I don't know. It doesn't look like they're going to try to go for this blue buff. They're maybe looking for a pick onto Genset down here on the bot side of the map, but they're staying here a long time. This is a really committed cheese.
They've got that
I mean,
ward
they have
there.
the
They're gonna
Nautilus.
see
They could catch the
Genset.
Ashe before she makes it back to bot lane.
Looks like they're going to go for the blue buff steal, or are they warding it? Doesn't look like that. We got good vision toggle
Greasy
here by
Watermelon went
observers.
for the blue.
Yeah, Genset's being very careful about this. Maybe smells that something's up. They still haven't seen them leave on that ward yet, so they know they're in this blue side somewhere.
Right.
See Arcade King hovering around as well. Yep, they finally see the Jarvan. They know they're going for it. They're going to bring 4 to bear. Yep,
Oh
and
no,
here's
he's
the
put on the
spot.
blue.
Dredge line already used. Greasy Watermelon going to be able to finish this one off as some volley shots come down. They call down Bird of Sand also off the mid wave to make sure that they can contest this. And the smite goes away with Greasy Watermelon. He's level 2, and that means the Ashe slows are coming through. Damon already has burn flash. Genset burning his flash as well to try to continue forward. Jarvan using the E for some poke damage. Again, there's no Q to follow up. No! Slide glide, so it's first blood to Genset.
Just a little bit greedy there. Probably did not know they were spotted out on that ward. Probably knew that they thought they were there, but didn't know exactly where they were. But they were pretty honed in. Nautilus making a bit of a mistake there, hooking the blue buff. That didn't really do much.
Yeah, he jumped the gun a little too early because I think he expected Lee Sin to at least be in front of it a little bit.
Okay.
Greasy Watermelon actually forced off the invade here. And they're bringing Helper up, who's still level 1 on the Lucian. Gonna hit him with a Q. Flash from Bird of Sand. Might be a kill. No! The Grump gets the assist as Bird of Sand comes through with a kill.
Unfortunate that you got that on the Karma, but the Lee Sin dying after that failed invade does help even the jungle out a little bit.
Hey, that's a blue buff on my mid laner.
Yeah,
That's what I like
Blue
to
buff
see.
transfer onto Bird of Sand. The late level 1 invade. It was all a ploy, all a con. They get it.
It was
they
only
get it
for
on cover
buff
as
transfer.
action does not stop. Tablia already burning his flash down, and bot lane gets hooked in by the dredge line. Mid lane as well. Play here on Arcade King. Early level Kale, pretty strong, but let's see if Damon can make it work.
knocked.
Grabs the knock-up. Arcade King, nowhere to go. No flash to be had. Greasy Watermelon to try to come in for save, but can't find the Sonic Wave. That means Damon gonna continue his push into the enemy jungler. Greasy Watermelon wants no part of this. It seems like as he keeps running away, the red buff's
got
doing a
red buff.
lot of damage. Bird of Sand coming in with the assist. Sonic Wave hits, grabs a smite onto the big chicken. Trying to get some health back. E can help as well, but that is gonna be yet another kill onto USC as the jungler picks up 2, and this Lee Sin has no room to breathe here so far in game 1.
That's very unfortunate for Texas A&M. You get that nice advantage there from the invade, and you're just losing it, and your Orin's up there fighting the Camille, and he looks down and says, wait a minute, why is there Jarvan 2-1?
I looked away for 5 seconds. I thought jungler had the thing. What happened? I mean, it's a good transition. They had a little bit of a rough start. Damon getting a little greedy in the beginning, but they were able to turn it around, get the blue buff on the Karma, which set it up. Damon caught up a little bit. Once you finally hit level 2, you have a knockup now. You can leave and go wherever you want. So they set that up really well. Once he got red buff and they were able to catch out. I don't know what the Kale was doing.
Oh, but
strong.
yeah.
Oh, come on.
Arcade King caught out again. Bird of Sand gets the W. Arcade King, no flash, way too far up in this lane. And Damon exploiting this early game of Kale. This is the time of the game where Karma is the favorite in the lane matchup. Kale, you're just supposed to survive, but Arcade King trying to pressure off this wave. Maybe a little bit too used to the Vagar, have that nice Event Horizon to throw up. It has a little bit of a shield away from some of these engaged champions, but so far 1.6k gold in favor of USC at just 4 minutes in.
The Dark Seal. No. It's so sad.
Yeah, a little bit XP. It's Gale again. 2 deaths. Threshold of the Kale still ahead a little bit in CS, catching this next wave. Burn the teleport to come back. Despite the early gold deficit, again, for Kale in the 1v1, still feeling relatively okay. Yeah, you're 0-2, yeah, you're gonna be down, but you're Kale, you expect this anyway. It goes the same in a lot of top matchups. So this is very comebackable for the Kale specifically. The question is, what is Damon gonna be able to do with all the gold he has on this Jarvan? Are we thinking maybe about transition more to an AD focused build? We gonna see more of the Chem Tank build that we've seen in pro play recently. What are your guys' thoughts on how he's gonna be able to use this gold lead to really help fast forward the rest of the map to the same amount of gusto?
Yeah, it's definitely a difficult situation because if this was solo queue, this guy'd be rushing lethality Jarvan right now because that's just how solo queue is, but you're not going to do that right now. I honestly do not think he pivots from the tank just because Camille does...
Oh, I'm going to have to hold you up on that. There's a flash play here on a Taplea. Good shield to buy some time. Exhaust comes out, but that's a good cleanse away by Humbler. And that means Taplea going to go down. However, Greasy Waterman looking for the counter against Humbler cannot kill the Ashe. Tamu Genset doing so much early game damage with that Q auto reset. And with Greasy Waterman finding the bot lane, Texas A&M getting their first counterplay of the game and successfully grabbing some kills on the USC bot lane.
Well, it's not what you want to see if you're Humbler, because if you're Humbler, you wanted to get both of those kills there, but you know, no vision. You didn't know where the Lee Sin was. It was a little too aggro. I mean, I get it. That's the stick you want to do. As soon as you got that kill, I think you really had to try and fall back a little bit, especially because you had no jungle vision. Wait a minute!
Dash play!
You can't do that. You cannot solo Hextech drags at level 4 as Lee Sin.
Especially without your bot lane in
Yeah, you cannot be sitting there by yourself. That and Cloud Drake, you should not be touching level 4.
It's a sneaky play we saw Greasy Watermelon pull off yesterday in the series against PSU, just kind of going there while he knew both bot lanes were on a reset timer to steal away Quick Drake. However, Damon obviously looking over the footage, or at least having some good intuition on his head, because he spots that one right out quick and decides, all right, Lee, you might think you have this one, but I have a full back with double longsword over you. I will 100% win this 1v1 when you are a quarter HP. And manage to take that kill.
Do you see
nice
this item I
and
have?
easy.
It's Iron Spike Whip. Do you see how much damage this does when I twirl it in the air?
Yeah,
Minimal, but it gets the kill regardless.
Our questions are answered there on the Jarvan. Looks like he's going to go for a Gore Drinker / Stridebreaker. I'm assuming the Gore Drinker here.
Yep.
He is going, that's kind of what I was going to say, is I don't think that he needs to go full tank necessarily, but he needs to go bruiser-ish to balance out. Camille is a frontline, but not true tank frontline like Ornn is. So I like the decision making. I think it's really good, especially when you're going to have Ornn and Lee Sin and point Kale the Gore Drinker off of. You're going to get some nice juicy heals.
This is a build we saw more before the Sterix nerfs, was the Gore Drinker immediately into the Sterix gauge. You have so much healing, the shield buys so much darn time. Now with the nerfs to Sterix gauge, you're looking more at a Death Dance second item. Still works, but recent Wildman flying Demon down here, trying to make a little cheese happen as the bot lane for USC a little bit slower to spawn. Humbler comes through, and that's a huge kill on that after the fail flash. That's Taplea, possible trouble. Good polymorph onto Humbler, but that Lucian's gonna be able to continue forward. Taplea bashing into the
He needs
flush
to be careful
to
here.
make
He's gonna
sure
get stuck with the
he can.
slow.
Yep, flash forward. Jen said so much damage, and the KO will come in for the ultimate. His Demon, no way to trade. Shut down on a Gen set, and that is a massive turnaround for the side of Texas A&M. Gen set right now putting the team on his back, 4-0-1 on an early game Ashe, and you know, have to think Humbler thinking in the back of his head, hey, I'm Lucian into Ashe. This matchup is only going to get worse.
Absolutely, especially the 4-0 Ashe. You know, he must have, Genset must have listened to our stream earlier, the analyst desk talking about bot diff, and he said, I'm going to show you a bot diff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really good. That was a great roam out of Cade King there. You knew he knew that the gank was just coming again, especially since Lee Sin got caught out there, but it was a great roam, especially on the Genset. He now has so much more
Sharkwave
gold.
connects. Bird of Sand. Gonna flash away, has a W for some healing there, and that means Reach Wildman really know where to go on this one. Sees the Jarvan pop up with a wardy jump to, and we'll just back away. No, but David was extended, and there's the Cataclysm for a cataclysmic kill. Lee Sin goes down to 1 and 5, a little bit more on the rougher side of things. Might want to lean toward the tankier side of the build at this point in the game, to say the least, as Deblea now under siege. Damon just so darn aggressive in this early game.
Copious coin from that Cataclysm kill. I'm sorry. Too much alliteration.
Wow. Here I thought us casters didn't know English.
Oh.
Yeah. Nah, sorry, you decided to cast with Shakespeare today. You showed up,
I'm
but,
sorry, I didn't read my poems before we started.
Oh, and it looks like Damon not checking the map, as he's going to get immediately a check. Taken down by Greasy Watermelon. Maybe sticking around a little bit too long in the blue side jungle. Again, another thing we saw yesterday in the previous PSU series was Vale on the Ash using such good usage of the Hawk Shot to find out the enemy jungler's position. Once again, Ash Hawk Shot punishing the Jarvan in this instance, making sure that he doesn't get out scot-free from those mid lane kills.
I think the biggest thing we're seeing here right now at USC is that we're seeing there's a lot of, like, I guess, I don't want to say jitters, but I don't know what else it's called, because they're getting a lot of this early gold, they're getting a lot of these turnarounds, but then immediately they're like, rush, 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 we got to do something with this, we got to go, and then it just ends up that they just run into the other team. I think all they have to do is just kind of slow down a little bit, take their victories where they get them, and just reset a little bit more, because they already know that they have the prio. Damon's everywhere, but you got to be careful, because they don't have enough vision, and they're just rushing themselves. They got to relax, step back, know what they get, and set up for the objectives, because they're already standing strong. We already see Demon up here setting up for Herald potentially. So I think all they got to do is just relax, ease off the gas a little bit, let Texas A&M get themselves picked out.
Oh, yep. Greasy Watermelon might have regretted taking that one. Has the ward hop though to get over. David
the
can
Cataclysm!
follow with the
Oh!
Cataclysm as Greasy Watermelon trying to get away, stuck in the pit, and Damon managed to grab it with a long-range Q poke there, and yeah, not Greasy Watermelon's game, I believe, as his fans would say. Just flip tails on that one for the game this time around, as he calls a 2 and 6 at only 11 minutes in. Top side here. Oh! Ball for Gibbs to grab it, and that will be an easy kill. Gets the assist there. I'm not sure how Jarvan managed to grab an assist on that kill, but
Spirit. He was there in spirit.
you know,
Moral support.
Moral support.
Moral support from down on the Herald, and Arcade King. I'm not sure if you want to cover this. That is
There's
a
3 here.
That Jarvan might not have tackled him, but he still has plenty of engage. Has to pop the ult early, and now Kim's able to grab in. Damon doing a ton of damage on the back of the net. Arcade King is going
going
out.
to
Jet set. Dead again. The calling finding another one. Humbler goes forward with that. He's going to try to pursue
Greasy
the
Watermelon.
Yep,
Greasy
on the
Watermelon, don't do
backside.
it.
Lee Sin. USC Inferno trying to peel, but Humbler just flashes forward and takes out the support. Watermelon now trying to find some kind of trench kill. USC Inferno doing a great job blocking. Good dodge on Sonic Wave, and that's 3 kills. Triple over to Humbler, and they're going to get so much more on this bot side as this turret continues to get chunked down.
That's a free. That is a top tower, a bot tower, and potentially a tier 2 top tower with Herald. But it looks like we're just gonna get a little bit of damage instead. Oh no, Shelly didn't even make it.
Oh!
He's
I
got
think
3
that
and
was
a half
trying to
Crystal
stop
arrow.
the kill. You are going to stop a lot of this turret damage as the 3-second scenario, as you say, comes through. But Humbler should be okay. Take down this first turret bot side. 5 total plates over to the USC bot lane, as they're going to be able to spider knot their way out of this one. Take a reset, spend a lot of that gold they've accumulated, as you notice. Humbler still doesn't have a mythic yet.
He does not.
As we have more action as Damon going in on RKK, but Tablea there to assist. Maybe the Jarvan's overcommitment. No, has the Cataclysm with Kale. No ulti available. Tablea has to flash. Managed to get through wall of Jarvan and
Demon-
normal both.
Demon, no!
Dragon kick in. Damon trying to get away. Gets out in the flag and drag so far. But Greasy Watermelon looking for
the
Inferno
damage!
Sand. Oh my goodness. Luden's Karma. Come on, my man. There's so much damage. Orn coming down. Whiffs most of the Call of Fortune as Gibbs moving so long with his Karma shielding. Damon goes to divide by some time, but Genset is there to take the kill. That means that it's going to be a wild amount of trading. UNC Inferno still looking to pursue
Yeah,
further.
he's gotta get out fast,
No, it's the Lulu instead. I mean, better than your 80 carry, sure, but I'm sure that Tablea has some choice words for Genset on that one.
They had to get out fast because Humbler was coming in hot pursuit. Kraken and boots, freshly bought, followed up by an 2/3 Essence Reaver. We got a lot going on here, but just great pick just to start it off by USC.
So-
like,
Before we talk about anything else, just a thing to note. I want you to look at the game time, my friends.
Yes.
We are at 1340.
correct.
It is 24 kills and a 7, almost 8,000 gold lead for USC off of just those last several plays. Now, a lot of that standing gold there in the bot lane off the plates, but so many kills coming through in just the last few minutes that this game Suddenly, Texas A&M, you know, they're trying to stay in fighting distance. They're only at 2K, 3K down. Can come back with Kale, can come back with Orn, but now it is just looking really dire. Arcade King flanked on both sides. The ultimate's gonna block. No damage. They just waited out. Good flash from the dredge line, but
Wait, maybe
we'll see
bought
how
some
much to say.
time.
Greasy Watermelon. Yeah, maybe has bought enough time. Can't find the Q though for the armor shred. Now UNC Inferno going low. Bird of Sand trying to retreat toward the TP. Now Kim's coming in and Humbler. This Lucian's gonna do a lot of damage. He's gonna commit onto the Lee Sin. The Lulu stuck on the wrong side of the rift. Bird of Sand just waiting this one out. Actually gonna give it to the top laner if Kibbs can catch the Lulu. There's the hook shot. Damon doesn't even need to be there for that one, and the counter kills come through cleanly. And one more on a Genset as Damon finds the enemy AD carry. Has the shield built by his side, but that's a cataclysm to remove any help. He's going to get solo kill for the jungler yet again. And USC just starting to run away with this one.
I had some hope. I saw some good hope out of the Aggies there for the last, like, 5 minutes. They were doing some good stuff. They were turning around a lot of those fights, but after that mid lane fight, I don't know what's going on. They have no purpose right now. They're going the lane. They're just getting picked all the time. They're not really setting anything up. I don't see their game plan right now. I mean, Ashe is fed. That has to be their carry, but they're not playing around it. Oh. Ignore that.
Getting a
Flashbang is fine. In any event, I mean, Texas A&M, look, you definitely, on your point, Bob, looking a little lost. They drafted a late game composition, and yet we see they're often the ones around Greasy Watermelon a lot of these times, trying to opt into these early game engagements. It's a grinding of gears, so to speak. Two parts that don't want to work together. You have the early game fighting the Lee Sin, trying to work around a Kale mid, an Ashe Lulu bot lane, which certainly has had some success in this game between Genset doing a fantastic job so far on the AD carry pick, besides that one fight in mid lane we just saw. And I think there's a few too many of those coin flips, a few too much of Greasy Watermelon and company trying to make stuff happen when they don't have to. And it's causing them to really hurt in this later part of the mid-game, as now Inferno caught out by Chick Reserve, but he can buy a lot of time as a tanky Nautilus. Call the Fortune like a stun up Bird of Sand, and not too much longer. You see for Greasy Watermelon almost going down to the Channing Karma Q. Flash forward. Oh, the damage on it to Tablea. Not going to result in anything, but Demon wants to keep pushing forward. He's got Humbler at his back, and that's going to be Rafflecopter's demise. The culling takes it down. Bird of Sand actually, I think, grabbing off a Q proc just to insult his AD carry a little bit with that one, and the expenditure of the resource ends up being a 1-for-1 trade, and as Tamo, you take those, but it still doesn't really improve the situation in this game. Near 10K now, the gold difference, and a tier 2 falling before 18 minutes.
This is I don't want to say GG go next here, because we do have the Kale and the Ornn on the side of Texas A&M, but there is only so much you can scale on those two champs when you have a 3-9 Lee Sin at 17 minutes.
Yep. Arcade King getting a good trade back. Kale is level 10. Might be able to find this one. Wait for the next hook shot cooldown on Kimch.
No flash.
And
on
oh,
Kale.
the E! And that is what we call a gold difference. Kale has one more item, one more little section. Maybe she gets through that, but Humbler here to clip and kill Greasy Watermelon. I'm sorry, buddy. The Gromps do not belong to you anymore. Gonna have to hopefully ward up. No, just goes for the flash. Knows he doesn't have the time as Humbler continues to pursue forward, getting cut up by Inferno as well. Perhaps a good Sonic Wave for the wave, and that means Inferno stuck, sped up by Bird of Sand, going down the channeled Heck Flash as David comes around for the pickoff. Watermelon, nowhere to go. Gets a good Gore Drinker, but it's not enough to save his life. And Humbler picking up his 8th of this early game. Absolute massacre of Texas A&M these last several minutes, and now Rafflecopter, yeah, possibly joining his teammates back in the fountain. Force Inferno, not a ton of damage.
Kale in the backup coming up real quick.
Bird of Sand as well coming up, but Genset checked into the wrong bush, and Checkers Air gonna buy a little bit of time, gets the wild growth from Lulu, but this is not a karma, this isn't even the main damage. Bird of Sand going lower, calling flash away from Genset. Taking the Kale ult as well. Divine Intervention not going to be too useful for the next few minutes, as Kale still only level 10, so doesn't have the enhanced cooldown reduction on that one. Still going the full original length of it.
Not even level 13 to get the waves of damage you would get off of regular Kale. She's barely even into her second item, but I mean, she still does a decent amount of damage with Nasser's alone.
Yeah, XP definitely a problem here on this one for the Kale pick. They're riding 0-5. Still got a stack on that Darksteel though, so got a little bit of hope, but not looking too hot. 3-10 on Lee Sin, 0-5 in the mid lane. Really, Genset, the person you got to play around, and so far, Tablea doing his darndest to keep that Ashe alive. But as you were saying, sir, 12K gold to the lead. looking a little dire.
Yeah, it's not looking good. You're just getting choked out of the game here. I used this term last week, the communal jungle. Greasy Watermelon is down enough, no longer has his own jungle. You have one tier 2 left on red side, so you're not going to defend that. So Greasy Watermelon's just going to walk around and pretend like he's helping.
Yep, Arcade Kings take up the freeze here in top lane to attempt to get some CS, get that XP.
Yeah.
Still level 10.
Still level 10.
Been level 10 for about 2 minutes now.
Very unfortunate.
Good things come to those who wait.
I might be waiting for a long time to
Yeah,
become
maybe
relevant.
wait
This
a
is a little bit of a sleeper.
You might be waiting for a train that never comes. And that's,
Yep.
That's not very good. I mean, I think really the only thing that A&M can do right now, I guess, is Turtle. But I mean, if they have to group a Turtle because their towers are nothing. They're gonna USC has all of the siege that they want. They have all the gold that they want. Their only real damage besides Kale is Ash, but they don't really have any frontline except Horn. But because of how mispositioned they are, they really can't really do anything about it.
And smart here by USC doing the inhibitor at the 20-minute mark, but it's a play by Crazy Watermelon trying to get a kick on, I believe, Humbler, but can't get it to come through. Rafflecopter again. Call of the Forge God is not really doing much as Genset able to grab some damage. Good damage on the bird of Sam. Straight up just manages to pick him off. This Ashe, again, is super strong. It's a Bork Ashe as well this game. We've gone for really an older style of build, as this was a classic on Ashe back in the day.
Hey, you got a lot of bruisers, you need damage.
Yeah.
Works perfect.
Texas A&M with Genset's pick there, allowing them to kind of defend this inhibitor turret despite the Herald play at 20 minutes. You get that Herald play, get a 20-minute inhibitor. USC just is able to be run away with this game. Baron's already up on the map. They can pressure that one. Luckily, the turret stays alive, so there's going to be some wave clear from Texas A&M in that middle lane, trying to push that back out, regain control of the map. And hopefully they can try to come contest this Baron here in just a few minutes, because I'm sure that USC's got their eyes set on that big purple worm.
5K gold lead in the jungle. Oh,
That's
man.
unfortunate.
That's a little rough.
Greasy Watermelon has 200 more gold than the enemy support.
Top lane is a 3K gold lead,
Yeah,
too.
and note, even though Genset is the #1 carry here for Texas A&M, still down 2K gold onto his counterpart in Humbler. It is a very uphill battle for Texas A&M, as yeah, this is the thing. USC, you got the vision control. You can just bait out this Baron. You have the crab. All of it is in your end. Texas A&M has to check into this one. They don't have Blue Trigger, just waiting on hopefully Hawkshot.
Oh no, goodbye.
Tries to enchant Crystal Arrow onto the Kimson mid lane, but instead will just be a retreat. Oh, good Cataclysm. Calling, though, not really going to be too effective in the flash win. Greasy Watermelon, Rock Cover, not yet
the
down.
Kale
Wild
ult.
Growth into a big Kale ulti, but do they have the damage? No, I do not think so. Just the wallet's a little too heavy. It's a full 5-man ace coming in for USC. They're not going to drop a single mana, and that very well might just be the end of the game.
Yeah, I mean, we got death timers, earliest we got in 17 seconds, and that's Z. Might be able to kick one person away. It's not like then it'll just explode. I think it's dire straits here, and I do believe that is the end of game 1.
Yeah, Nexus Towers all that stand in USC's way from pushing this series to max point. Not too much else to go with. So yeah, Greasy Watermelon takes his last stand, a little war drop for style points, but that's gonna be USC match point here in our grand finals, 1-2-0.
You hate to see it, but that's what happens when you get a good gold lead, a good aggressive jungler, and a lot of picks. So, game 1 going over to USC. We'll be right back with our analyst desk. Stay tuned for game 2 of the Nittany Invitational Grand Finals.
Hello and welcome back to the analyst desk. That was a banger of a game one. I don't know what you guys think about it.
Yeah, it was definitely something. USC taking the reins and holding it all the way through. Greasy Watermelon Lee Sin kind of not having the best game this time, right?
Really a blind Lee Sin. He was playing for the lore.
He was playing cosplay.
He was playing for the lore. I think there was a lot of mistakes early that just did not need to happen. They didn't really respect that Kale's early game was so weak, and for that USC just permanently invaded them, permanently put them on the back foot from the start of the game. Like,
There was a bit of a shining light though. Tamu's bot lane actually showing up. What was supposed to be a UNC domination turned out the other way around. Ash was really putting in the work there. Surprising, 2v2 kills, turnarounds, all that stuff. And in the later parts of the game, she was the only damage on their side.
Yeah, the fun of playing ADC against a Fed topside is you get press hard on.
yeah.
I mean, honestly, Texas A&M has had a lot of chance, honestly, to come back. They had moments where the bot lane gank didn't turn out so well for USC, and then they did a really good job getting Ash fed, getting Ash ahead, despite what we believed that they're gonna be the weak side. They could have used that lead, but it just turned into a lead throw over and over again. That just unlucky, honestly.
Now, obviously, the game was mostly over by this point, but that final team fight where the Lulu and the Kale ult both went down on the Ornn, I really think that was a misplay. I think that they needed to protect Ash more than anything. If Ornn dies, it's nothing. It's okay. He did his job, he got engaged on, and that's going to let the Ash carry if she was allowed to. If Ornn didn't get Kale ulted, if Ash stayed alive a little longer with the Lulu ult, Lulu shields on her, it was really, that was the final misplay in a long line of misplays.
I mean, honestly, I don't think they expected Ash to be fed, right? I mean, if they wanted ADC to be fed like that, they probably were thinking like Jinx, not even though Jinx is banned, or something like Vayne, maybe, something Varus. The other kind of hyper carry could have been picked, but they just didn't expect Ash, and I don't know, this just didn't work out too well with the comps looking like that.
I mean, we weren't expecting
I wasn't.
Genset to get fed either. We were expecting Humbler to humble him, but...
What do you think of all the ADC bans that we had?
Oh yeah, there was a Zeri ban, a Kaisa ban, a Jinx ban, a Samira ban. There was a lot of hyper carries ADCs banned. So all that was really left was the early game ADCs and the utility ADCs, like Lucian being the early game ADC and what is it called? Sorry, Ash being the utility ADC, keeping them all like alive. But even Ash just put out constant damage with lethal tempo with the Lulu passive. It was just, I think, way more than even USC was expecting. That's why they died to it so many times. But I wasn't expecting the damage from AP Karma mid. That was what surprised me the whole game. Just RQ nukes.
Yeah, at one point in the jungle, she took out a solid 20, brought Ash at 20% of her health. Unfortunately, Lulu was right there, but that just shows the power of the Karma B1 as well, the strong flex pick as an option for USC.
Yeah, because even Karma Lucian isn't terrible either, because Lucian does have that extra passive damage when he's shielded, when he's healed, right? So I think Karma as a flex pick, they're going to try to do that again if she's not banned next game. I think that's my prediction at least.
Do you think we're going to have Greasy Watermelon go back to the Lee Sin? Do you think he's in that mood right now?
I think that if his lanes are strong early, then I definitely do think we're going to see him on another carry jungler. I think the Ornn and the Kale picks really just screwed him over. Like, he really did not have any early prio, didn't have any early damage. It was just Lee Sin versus the world, and he did definitely try to fight the world. He didn't even after dying like quite a few times, he kept going in, and that's really all he could do at that point. Just continue to put as much damage out as he can before dying, but he just has to respect that he's there to stop the bleeding and not there to start it. Like, he's protecting Kale and Ornn more than they're protecting him.
Do you think they drafted too much scaling? Sorry to interrupt.
No, I'll go.
Yeah, I don't know. There was a lot of scaling on their team. I think the Lulu and Kale was obviously meant to be the big synergy, but if you go with Lulu and Kale, you have to have a jungler that can survive without a mid lane, and Lee Sin cannot survive without a strong mid lane.
And going for the scaling against such an aggressive team is a good idea. It was just a matter of execution, really, and not being able to stop the snowball as soon as it started.
Stop the snowball from once it started. You had something to say?
Yeah, I mean, I think we also have to kind of notice that the Damon was putting up amazing jungle pathing and just amazing jungle tracking, just amazing jungle all over the place. You know, kind of tracking down Lee Sin where he is, messing him up
Yeah.
so that he doesn't get to play the game. I mean, that's just
I mean,
what it comes down to it.
the
Yeah.
dragon interruption into a kill on Lee Sin, that was beautiful.
That was beautiful. Yeah.
He jumped over the wall. I don't think they even had vision on Drake at the time. I think Damon just knew this is the only option Lee Sin can have here. He has to be on this Drake, and if I interrupt him, I can take the Drake, maybe get a kill. And that's just what he did. I mean, it was just really. I don't want to say it was a jungle gap, but there was definitely space between the junglers. It was a little bit of a divot. No, Damon he played very well that game.
Do you think they try and change how they play the level 1
Oh yeah.
to prevent the invade?
Well, I mean, it was a 4v4 on the blue buff. I think that unless Ornn comes down to try to stop the invade, that's about as much as they can do. And if Ornn wasn't topside, then they could have easily just gone to the top side, invaded that, and just stolen it away from Lee Sin without him even knowing. I think definitely they're going to be warding further out and then playing further back at the start, Texas A&M, but again, it all depends on their next draft. What do they draft next game? And can they figure out that early comps are like the way right now? I think it is definitely an early game meta, as it has been for quite a while. I think Lee Sin without early game characters, I keep coming back to this, but Lee Sin without early game characters isn't anything. He really needs to just start the snowball with his team. He can't snowball on his own.
I mean, especially with the Ornn pick, right? Ornn pick and then Kale. Whitley, it just feels so different, you know?
Yeah.
It just doesn't go together.
It is like it's not synergy. What's the word I'm thinking of? Disharmony? I'm trying to...
Anti-synergy, we'll go with that.
Anti-synergy? Anti-synergy,
Okay.
yeah. It's definitely an anti-synergy, Lee Sin and a scaling top mid.
Do you think they're going to ban more ADCs?
I think that the ADC bans, I think that Texas A&M is going to probably ban more ADCs. I mean, you are the bot lane guy that we have.
I mean, looking at that game, while Humbler did do some stuff in bot lane, also topside was just light years ahead.
Oh,
so.
I think if you're gonna go for something like picking the Ornn on 3, you really have to ban more counters. If I remember, they banned one top laner and then another ADC, right? If you're picking Ornn blue 3, you want to ban at least 2 things. Get rid of Camille, Fiora, that type of thing, just so you have a safer lane.
Yeah, they did ban Aatrox and Samira then after the Ornn pick. So, all right, predictions going into game 2. I think I might be starting to switch over to the USC believers. Have you switched back over?
I'm not a USC. I'm switching over, bro.
All right. I think I'm on the fence still. I think if Texas A&M pulls through this game, they'll pull through game 3. I'm excited.
Momentum is important in these things, and I think USC.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah, the momentum's huge.
All right. So, it's going to be another banger of a game 2. I'm excited to see you all on the Rift.
Back. Thank you, Analyst Desk, once again for giving us a good setup here for the cast. Back for game number 2, match point over to USC after what was a kind of close early game turns into an absolute slamming of a mid game. 10K plus gold at sub 20 minutes, pushing on inhibitors at 16. Texas A&M has a lot of work to do going into game 2, gentlemen.
Yeah, I think they need to reevaluate their strategy in game. I thought their draft was fine, but they drafted these hyper carries, these hyper scaling like Kale, Ornn, but they played like they had the best early team comp in the game. They were taking every fight they could. Kale was stepping up like she was gonna kill a Karma in mid lane. It was not playing how they should have.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem with the Aggies in the first game was that really they just had a crisis of identity because, like you said, they had a perfectly good late game comp, but maybe on part of a couple of early good plays by Greasy Watermelon, maybe they got a little overconfident, maybe they played around where they shouldn't have played around, and it just kind of fell apart. And too many picks, too many turnovers, and then 10K gold happens. So what they really got to do is if they're going to pick a comp, they got to stick to it. They got to give me something good, and if they're going to play for late game, they got to play for late game. They got to not take ridiculous things. They got to play to their identity.
We're going to see here Texas A&M electing to go back on the red side for game 2. Feeling confident, not having that B1 first pick. We saw USC taking Karma on that last game. It looks like Band so far going the same way. Vega taken away by USC. We got Heckram over here for Texas A&M. Yet again, the jungler not going to be seeing the light of day. It's probably the better thing. Zeri as well, banned by USC. As we have Kaisa.
Same bands.
Yep.
Same band so far.
Yeah, so I think it's like I said, I don't think either team thought draft. Obviously, USC did not think draft was an issue, but I really don't think Texas A&M thought that their draft philosophy was an issue. I believe the Jinx was banned last time as well. So I think we have the same first 3 bans.
Not again.
We're just. Are we sure we're not on replay here?
Oh.
Don't tease me like
Give me back Vel'Koz.
Give me the Vel'Koz.
Give me the Vel'Koz.
Veigar's banned. We don't have the exquisite Vel'Koz Veigar bot lane, the double mage. But we will get Karma for another flex pick on B1. We saw it immediately turn though on 2.
And we're gonna get Ornn again.
Yeah, Rothkopter blind Ornn this early, certainly a little iffy, because you can also play Karma top lane into the Ornn if you really, really want to. It's a build we saw, not build, but assignment we saw in the past. And
Ooh, very different from an Ornn.
No, we're just gonna go Ash again.
Hey, this is one of the picks that's been popping up more and more as the tournament goes on. Zeri wants that span out, Jinx wants that span out. Even the Jhin is kind of falling down in priority.
Do not do it.
We've been seeing the Ash more and more. So Rothkopter taking that one for his team. Jensen can be piloting the Ash once again.
Don't do it.
We don't talk
Give me
about
the
it.
Gator.
We don't talk about it.
Give me the Gator. Come on. Give me.
No.
Give it.
Don't do
Come
it.
Come on, Florida is not here.
want it.
There are not
Please.
gators anymore.
Oh. Give it.
Do it.
Come on. Come on. No. I hope you lose. Don't tease me with TiVo like that. What? That's a terrible. Same thing, same picks, same bands, and lo and behold, I think USC is just gonna pick Camille again. Because why not?
Yeah.
It played really well into Ornn. True damage doesn't mean anything into armor, and if the lane state goes exactly the same way, USC is gonna have top prio all the time. That's very dangerous to do again, blinding the top lane once again, and here we go with Camille again.
Yep, locked in and away for Kimchin top lane. Again, but very much in the Camille's favor. Not as explosive as the rest of the map, per se. Then again, is top lane. A lot easier to play safe on the Orange. Still some trading potential into Camille. Some ways to play the matchup where you can W proc out of Camille's.
And Jarvan again.
Yeah.
Mirror draft. of Game 1.
Yeah, we
Well,
have,
no, we had a Nautilus
we have
already.
Nautilus
Oh,
here.
that's true.
Yep,
We did have
we have
Nautilus.
same champions picks, not necessarily same draft. It looks like we're gonna get the Jinzhou for Greasy Wild in game 2. Maybe going with something a little bit less playmaking than the Lisa necessarily, where you're only looking for insects late game. Jinzhou can be very tanky by a lot of time with that Crescent Guard. You have the anti-ranged auto attacks. Karma is gonna be less valuable. If you do the Lucian again, it can be less valuable because you can block the entire calling for your team if that's trying to disengage or engage a fight. So now Texas A&M may be looking for a little bit more aggression to pair that in the early game. Maybe pivot away from that Kale mid, see a different option that goes through. They're going to take away the Ezreal, not going to allow Humbler to pick that one up. Going to save that one as, again, USC saving their AD carry for second round. Not something we've seen too often in the tournament draft or pro draft these last several weeks.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just a confidence thing, really, because USC, like, we've seen very exquisite play out of Humbler. He's very comfortable, especially giving him counter pick. I think it just shows how much they consider bot side their strong side. And they really want to just set it up completely. That the rest of the top side of the map is very confident and able to whatever they have. We have more enchanters mid. We got Camille who can handle our own. And we have the Dame and Jarvan. So we're setting up a lot of different extra, what's the word, things to help with the bot side.
Yep.
So
Texas A&M got to pinch out that ADC pool. Looks like USC more focusing on the
resources,
support role.
that's the word. Resources.
There you
Oh
go.
my
Resources. There you go. So ADCs, very.
Bam.
That was last game as well. Second round of calling. Keep that away from
Yeah, the only ban changes were we got the Lulu ban for the side of USC. We got a Lucian ban for Tama. Do it.
Don't talk about it.
No.
It's fine.
Don't talk about. We
It's
don't
not
talk
there.
about hovers. Don't talk about
What
hovers.
you
Just
talking
let them go through. Texas A&M likes to survey the field, play the board,
I
so
do-
to speak.
I do
Get a
wanna
nice
see-
gander at the menu.
Please.
Come on.
Please.
Oh,
okay.
Nautilus Ash.
All right.
Very aggressive post 6. You have the Enchanted Crystal Aerial, slows, dredge line, as well as the depth charge, just as the creme de la creme on top.
They also keep the Nautilus away from USC if they wanted to pivot the Karma into mid. See what they decide to do here. I would assume we're going to find out on, well, we're going to definitely find out on one of these picks since they have to pick back to
Yep,
back.
Karma has to be a flex between mid and support right now. You have that Camille already locked in. I don't think that's going either of those two lanes. Instead, something we haven't seen in a long time. But we got Braum into Nautilus. Again, Braum doesn't mind getting engaged upon. You got that 4-stack passive. The question is, what AD carry do they want to pair for this? They still would probably like to pivot more towards the carry when you have that Karma in the mid lane, not really doing a ton of damage. Samira, possible option. Ash deals well with the Enchanted Arrow because you do have the ability to block shots. That also works on the dredge line, but does have to be a little bit more aggressive, and especially without a lot of tank damage. Nautilus is going to be hard to kill, but hey, if you want to deal with engage, guess what AD carry loves? People jumping into him. Zaya is your girl.
Yeah, Zaya. Zaya. Yes. Zaya.
And
For sure. It looks like we're going to get a Victor here, the hover. But I do like to say that the Aggies taking away the Nautilus from USC kind of really plays into what they were trying to do last game, because they got a little bit of early bot prio. They had a lot of gold, the 4-0 Ashe, and then they were trying to play around with it when in actuality they weren't supposed to. Now with the Nautilus, they have a little bit more engaged and a little bit more leeway in the event that that happens again. So they're kind of like making themselves a little bit more flexible to actually go along with the flow of the game, instead of locking themselves into the time limit that they had last game.
Yeah, again, I think a little more balance. You have that Arcade King still in the scaling mid lane pick in the Victor, which will get ludicrously strong as the game goes forward. That Death Laser can just blow up squishies entirely, but does also have very good laning. Victor early game, especially with Q poke, extremely potent. Karma, of course, has some shields to mitigate this, but this time you have a champion that can lane. You have a champion who can fight a little bit earlier, has a little bit more utility with the gravity well to make sure that no one can't just run through. Damon has to be careful the Victor throwing that one down on the end of his EQ combos so he doesn't get stuck at the end of the animation. So you have a lot of interesting, more moving dynamic perks from Texas A&M where if they do want to fight early around Greasy Watermud, they absolutely have the option to. This is a team that has a lot more initiative on their own right, so if they want to make those early game plays, a lot easier for them to work around, especially with the new mid lane pick. You had Nautilus, Tablia, piloting that one around, going to be able to make picks of his own. It's a lot, I think, more aggressive comp and maybe fits Texas A&M style a little bit better than the full let's wait, let's scale, let's feel this out that we saw in game 1.
Yeah.
yeah, they tried that, didn't really work. I think the big thing is, like Mr. Pop Draft said, they're not locking themselves into any one playstyle. They have Warren Victor, very strong scaling champs. They have a Jinzhou who can fight early. They have Nautilus who can go around and make some roam plays and lock up the enemy carries. and it's definitely a lot less one-minded than the previous draft. Although I did not mind the previous draft.
Yeah, I think on the side of USC, they're pretty consistent. Exactly, like I said, the same top side across the board, and then the bot side a little bit along in the same area. But they are accounting for the Nautilus with the Xayah pick. They're accounting for maybe maybe a early level 2 gank at a Zinzao. Who knows? You never know. Maybe it's just a guess.
The level 1 we saw last game, I would not be surprised. So
Listen,
that would
you
be
can't let it
very
get you down.
likely.
I think we're going to get a 5-point here.
Come on.
Most boring start.
Oh, come on. Don't be so pessimistic.
You got Nautilus Ash, and you have Braum, and they're awesome level 1 teams.
What I like to see here is I think USC can literally just play exactly the same way they did. It's going to be a little bit slower because if they do play a little more defensively in the early game, they're not going to really get many of those early engages. If Damon is able to roam a lot more, maybe it will be a little better. Maybe it is going to get a couple more of those picks. Maybe could start to, get the ball rolling early again in the bot lane. But right now, it looks like it's going to come down to a lot more the actual lane states instead of jungler domination that we kind of saw.
Yeah, bot lane again, gonna be the place to look. You got Humbler on Xayah this game, going off of the early aggression Lucian, going for mid board, but skill I think. I'm assuming this will be the lethality Xayah build, so going a.
If I see Airy on the Xayah, I'm gonna be very upset.
It's probably.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either. As someone who likes playing Xayah, I'm not a huge fan of the lethality build either. I like doing the consistent DPS, but that is currently the highest damage build you can get on this champion. Does well to engage again. Tablia takes one missed hook on Nautilus into Braum. That pass to the stack, Xayah can get hers. That's a free root full combo for this bot lane. So you have to be really, really careful as engaged champions into this kind of lane where you have so much CC threat, even from the AD carry, especially once you get post 6 with the Featherstorm Glacial Fissure combination. Now, lots of different aspects for the team, tons of engage on both sides, great team fighting. This is one of the few series we've had a little bit less split potential. Kim's the only one who's going to be pulling off the sideline. Again, Arcade King should be able to match the Victor, but that is a ludicrously bad matchup.
There is one thing I do want to see out of Texas A&M, and I want to see more Gen Set Crystal Arrows. I saw about 2, and that's...
2 that hit.
2 that hit.
There's a lot of Camille that did not hit.
Yeah, there's a lot of Camille that done hit, but I saw really only 2 usable ones, and I want to see more of them. Because that's a lot of CC you're just leaving on cooldown. You're not really using it. And, I just feel like it's a lot of missed things. And it probably could have turned a lot of the fights if you just, more map conscious.
Yep, and we're loading on into game here. It is going to be lethal tempo Xayah. We get AD Xayah into this one. So trying to burn down the orange, trying to burn down the Nautilus, getting that extra consistent DPS. Will make it a little bit harder in the laning phase to get quick, easy kills on a Genset, but hey, that's the price you pay as we got all 5 members from Texas A&M running down toward the bot lane, as well as a 5-man stack from USC. We're getting a level 1, boys. Let's get ready to go.
5v5. I want the 5v5. I need it again.
We might get 2 invades at the same time here.
We'll see. It looks like USC try to cover more of that mid lane brush before pushing back into their own side, maybe suspecting an invade of their own, which means these 2 teams both hunting for some kills. Oh, they're barely going to dodge around the outside of Inferno's vision. And that means that they're going to be able to get in behind on Humbler here. Oh, but it gives it away.
Why would you do that?
W?
I think it might have been a miscoordination, maybe expecting Tablia to burn the flash there for the dredge line. But yeah, burns the volley, and that's just kind of it for the invade. The level 1 just dies. And now we're just going to go back to our respective sides. Yes, Texas A&M getting a little bit of early deep vision, but not really too much for that level 1 play. They just kind of decided to back off, go their separate ways. Could have looped all the way around onto Humbler. They had no idea of any vision in that area.
No, Humbler came out of that bush there by the red buff, so he wouldn't have even known there was a ward down there.
Yeah. That was absolutely had the opportunity. Maybe just a little bit too little information. Texas A&M not wanting to flip the game on level 1 like USC did last game, which didn't end up hurting them too bad, to be fair. And instead it will be bot side starts for both of these junglers as we kick off this game. Jarvan probably going to go for a 4 camp if I had to guess. Zinzao also probably going to go for something like a 4 camp. Maybe look to do the Raptors with that W having some AoE. But so far, not a too crazy start for either of these rosters. I mean, we should get a little bit more standardized laning practices, maybe a little bit less invading early game, and go from there.
Something that wouldn't hurt that I'd like to see out of Watermelon is that I'd like to see a 3 camp clear into mid here. Because if we can get Victor a little bit of gold early, that pretty much opens up the map and it gives you something that you didn't have the first game. Objective control. Getting early pressure with a Victor with a little bit more extra gold allows you to kind of have a little bit more flexibility. said, ooh, low poke.
Yeah, maybe looking for something there. You see Inferno walking up and land. Of course, Braum in the early levels
Oh, he took it away.
extremely potent. But as you're saying, maybe look for that early game level 2. However, a little bit harder on the blue side start. Just you have to go all the way wrap around mid or really invert your pathing going from the wolf camp. So maybe look after Raptor's red, you can look mid then.
Yeah.
Still definitely an available option. At least keep up with levels with your laners for that point. But first craft probably we're going to Blaya. Good hook in, but does get hit by the Blade Caller. Gets stunned up. The Ignite going down. USC Inferno also ticking lower as he manages to flash away. And both supports living with extremely low health pools. Both heals used, both ignites used, both flashes used, so supports not going to get too much done out of that play. The 8 carries just trading on to the other util champs, burning their pots and so forth. Now,
But as we know, Ashe is the much more superior ADC in these trading situations for a very important reason, containing the best trading rune in the game. Look at that inventory, Dom. What do you see?
yep, that is longsword and 3 pot start, now 1 pot. But hey, we're getting there.
I
and
see
biscuits.
cookies.
He's got cookies,
I
though.
got cookies.
Yep, keeping that mana up, making sure he can spam those volleys, increase his mana pool even just by a little bit. Definitely a little bit more controversial on the usage of, but very easy to use.
Yes.
Don't think about it, just click, get that mana back, and have yourself a good old time in bot lane. Trading here on top, and maybe a look gank as bot lane. Some trading as well onto Humbler. Genset again, Ashe with the range. Greasy Watermelon really wants to look for this one. Has the red buff for slow, but great sidestep on the W. Greasy Watermelon needs the vision. Finally gets forward with E. Has some Qs now, but Kimch should be A-okay. Yep, gets the shield proc. Jarvan down on the bot side. Damon maybe looking on to Genset. Oh! Misses the EQ. Not even sure if that would have gotten him in. No red buff slow to follow that one up as Kimch looking forward. Greasy Watermelon still in there. Has the hook shot though, and that means third Q not going to proc. But Greasy Watermelon going forward. Oh no! Oh no! Greasy Watermelon lower and lower, and almost was a spent scaring from Worlds that 1 year. Luckily, we avoid that one.
Orin's looking up and he's saying,
The
"What
solo-
is going on?"
The solos and Zao dive almost goes bad as we manage to just burn a flashing back away from that mistake. Greasy Watermelon, I think, getting a little too hypey onto Kimch. Again, it's still Camille, buddy. She's still got a lot of mobility.
Listen, that passive ain't a joke.
Yep, that shield is not something to be trifled with. Overall, though, still pretty even game state. About 200 in the lead for USC. At this point in the game, a lot of that actually probably coming in the jungle with the camp difference so far. And top lane, yeah, draw the cover. It's an Orn, man. This just sucks. He's got Sheen back. Kimch is just...
I will say, in Greasy Watermelon's defense, that was some pretty good mental warfare. Not gonna lie. It was very good mental warfare. The flash, didn't expect it, pretty much establishing dominance there. And but it
I'm
looks like-
sure Camille was scared.
Oh
Got
yeah,
his top,
she
got his
had
top
to have
laner
been
great
scared.
wave. Got his top laner great wave state as well as Damon looking for the bot lane play. USC Inferno searching for Genset. Tablea though just gonna take the damage for his buddy. Yep,
Oh,
Karma's down
Karma's
here.
here.
First blood though goes on to Humbler already. Genset trying to flash away, but Damon's here. Greasy Watermelon now trying to re-engage as we got a party in the bot lane. Double kill for the Xayah. That's another one as Greasy Watermelon falls yet again. Arcade King trying to look for something back, but Bird of Sand grabs the ring. Oh, the flash! Good thing Bird of Sand was taken, but Damon with the death ray. And Arcade King finds one on the trade back. Still advantage to USC with 3 quick kills in the bot gank.
way to take advantage of turret damage there.
Now, Arcade King just kind of saved that from being super disastrous. It's now only moderately
Excellent
disastrous.
flash in the Jarvan EQ, by the
Oh,
way.
yeah.
Absolutely beautiful. Now we're seeing Assassin Orn hits level 6 first, going in on a Kimch. There's the E, there's the knockdown, the bellows, breath, but it's just not enough. The healing from the W. Kimch gets the shield, has Q2, waiting for it. Off the cover though, disengages for now. And the 1v1 just does not go through. A battle of inches and just not enough damage from the Orn. Kimch though, so close to stick, might wrap around, try again for this solo kill.
And those cookies on the Camille saved her there.
Yep,
Unironically.
Rothelcopter knows this play. He knows he might be in trouble if he overstays. Uses the Bellows Breath. The Unstoppable isn't there. He's going to try to shove out this way, but
Oh,
Kim
but Damon's
still
there to
here.
come
Oh,
back.
Command sweep doesn't hit. No healing be done, but Damon,
no.
yep, coming up. Rothelcopter has the heal on the spellbook, and that will give him enough movement speed to get out of dodge. And with top lane showing Damon, Texas A&M getting their first objective of the series down here on our first Ocean Drain.
Yeah, I'd say you're probably happy to have that if you're Rothelcopter. You're going Spellbook Warden, so you're not really looking to be killing the Camille. Even if you didn't go Spellbook, you're not going to kill the Camille that often. So getting Damon to come up there, getting that first drag is pretty huge for them. as we have.
Technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties, but
The boss game. We got a little bit of a black screen here, so gonna wait to see what comes up. We're watching it on stream
We're watching it
still
from
on
far
the
away.
Yonder TV.
the trading. It looks like after that right there, we're going to rotate here and get a little bit of bot cryo. We're going to chill out here.
Little bit of bot prio so far. Ashton with a bit of Pokerinos. This is a little bit delayed for you guys because again, casting from the stream on TV. So
Yeah, we're casting from the future for the
Jarvan
past.
Day
Oh,
going
but
in.
Damon on the mid!
yep, good
Great
Jarvan ulti, and
Cataclysm.
that's gonna be a good Cataclysm on
Oh,
Victor.
we're back.
Hey, we're back.
Hey!
We can see the game now as Genset and
back in the
Tablea
future.
down into bot lane. We're back from the past. Casting currently is Greasy Watermelon looking for some kills. Humbler, ooh, a little bit of miss on the EQ there. A bit delayed.
Inferno wants
As
this
yeah,
fight.
Greasy Watermelon, he sees the jungler coming down. Damon can get in. Doesn't have the Cataclysm, but still does a lot of damage. Luckily, Genset here to disengage. Greasy Watermelon, though, recommitting the
Ooh.
Crescent Guard. But it's not going to buy
Stop
near enough
watch.
time. Great roots for Humbler. Is Inferno able to get away? Karma now during the fight. Tablea overcommits, and it's just disaster for Texas AMU. And now, that's going to be a 3K gold lead. 7 kills, 3 more on a Damon. The Jarvan still unstoppable in this series.
I'd like to call out how great these roams of Bird of Sand have been. Every single jungle engage from Greasy Watermelon has been answered by Bird of Sand. He is so aware, he's getting a lot of that gold, helping the Xayah out, and he's always there at the right time.
And he's still ahead of the
up-
bar.
And he's
Yes.
still ahead!
He's up 2 waves.
Like, the guy is just absolutely clutch on this Karma Mythic, which is normally not the carry pick, but he's there to support his team every time, give shields, give some heals, and put some roots down. Arcade King, though, still keeping up on the Victor well enough. Got his Lost Chapter in inventory. Should be going for, I'm assuming Ludens would be his preferred method of
Go Ludens again on that Karma, I like it.
preferred method of proc there for the
I
Victor.
like it.
Yeah, Ludens as well for Karma. Certainly a-okay. Maybe we could have looked towards the Moonstone if he wanted to with a
Listen, you think this
engage
man
bottom.
is going to go Everfrost? Absolutely not.
You know, the best mage
man-
item in the game.
Listen,
Don't need it.
he doesn't need it. Do
You-
you see that poke damage?
Hey, CC isn't necessary if you just do enough damage to kill him.
True.
If you kill them before they can move, then you don't need to stop them from moving.
Yeah.
Death is the best kind of CC.
True. Fountain is a nice 20 seconds of CC where they can't do anything on the map. And with that, we got 2 minutes till the next Drake spawns. Both teams taking a look at the gold here. About even actually in top lane, little advantage of Minutia to Rothacopter with some of those wave management. Jungle, once again, massive 1,300 gold lead already. Mid lane, fairly even. Bot lane, huge gold lead to Humbler with all those early kills and assists coming through.
Oh, but Damon,
And of course, yeah, DeBayman just finds out Greasy Waterman too far behind to contest the Jarvan. Their builds, you can see, so similar.
oh, but the Victor is getting
Victor's
caught out here by
gone
the
in.
Jarvan.
Yeah, Victor trying to save this red buff, but now Arcade kicks out the rocks on the map, doesn't have the flash, doesn't even matter. That's the Hextech ultimatum, putting Arcade King back to the fountain. Gibbs claims that kill. I don't know what Texas A&M was thinking there.
I liked Arcade King's moment of realization that there was a Camille walking out of that bush. He like looked back and forth and thought,
Oops, Tablea, bad hook, and this is what we were talking about pre-game. That feathers are set up, beautiful gale force through,
In
and
the
that's an
flash.
easy double kill for Humbler. And once again, USC just starts to run away with this game. Outplay after outplay after outplay.
Oh,
As now,
Damon.
yeah, Rocco trying to buy some time. The good EQ to cancel it, flashes away, but the red
Oh,
buff
red
is
buff.
enough. And Damon finds his 5th of game 2.
this one is spiraling a little bit for Texas A&M.
Yeah, reason why I'm trying to make something happen. Crescent Guard doesn't work in melee range, buddy. What is your thought process? Glacial procs passive from Inferno, and that is a easy kill for Humbler yet again. 5-0 on the Xayah. Already 9K in the lead. USC showing up. They do not want to take this series to a game
No.
3.
No, sir.
Yeah, there's no forfunning going on right now. This is all business for USC.
Yeah, not much that Texas A&M only 1 kill on the board, which is the trade kill that Arcade got with the excellent flash under tower. But other than that, Genset definitely not having the Ash game he did last time, which is funny enough because he's not against a Lucian. That is such early aggression. It's a Braum Xayah, a lane that you kind of almost have to overforce into to get killed. And so far, that's been the story of the game is USC.
Genset is having some fun.
Yep, he's trying to toy with Inferno, but yeah, Damon there, Cataclysm, and good crescent guard to get Inferno out of the way, but it's just not going to buy near enough time. Damon unstoppable, depth charge secures the kills. Oh my goodness, the
around the
corner, but Camille is here, and that means Tablea is dead. Humbler dominating, somehow gets the kill on his Zin as well. I think a Q over the wall snagged that one, as Arcane King wants to put himself back in the grave, checking forward, decides against it. And that means USC yet again come out on top. Yeah, sure, they trade a shutdown back on Damon, but everybody else picking up kills. Now Inferno and Bird of Sand just zoning out the rest of the team. Texas A&M might be 2 kills on the board, but it ain't near enough to contest this California bottom.
Bird of Sand don't care.
Oh, that's going to be a double kill for the Karma mid.
Empowered Qs do too much damage, and that's a bot tower. That's a dragon, a bot tower, a double kill on the Karma. There's so much happening.
And that is 10K surpassed, ladies and gentlemen. We have reached what we call the death point, as USC pretty much just has to make this one out cleanly, and the game is all but theirs.
Yeah, right now the name of the game is Do Not Tower Dive, unless you have 5 people on.
Yep, and
Oh, Humbler, no!
the Bush Cheese, easy solo kill, 8-0 on the Zaya. And this is just not Texas A&M's day.
No. A lot of the same here happening from game 1, though, once we got past that early jungle kerfuffles. A lot of bot lane domination coming on. We have the amazing synergy between Inferno and Humbler with their just able to get so much bot cryo out of a comp that's supposed to be, like, ran into.
Yeah, Greasy Watermelon, sorry buddy,
Oh,
not your
Watermelon,
jungle.
no.
Chad Christopher Arrow, not going to find much this game.
No.
Greasy Watermelon.
He wasn't greasy enough.
He's
Yep,
worth a whole.
0-6 on the Zinzao, and it's looking very similar to a certain blind monk we had in game 1. As now Damon
Oh, the
Cataclysm over. Good
God.
flash once again by Arcade King. Actually very good at stalling out the Jarvan. Depth charge hits. Damon, the big shield from Karma, and the shutdown finally comes through as good ult from Rumblecopter coming through. The stun already blown. They should be able to get this one off. No! Dodged away with the Hextech ultimatum. Kid gets stuff out of that one as Tamu Genset trying to get some
the
damage
Victor
down.
here.
One more auto attack would have done it, but he just doesn't have the damage. Bird of Sand with the slow. And the Karma is saving his team once again, but now might sacrifice himself. Tamu going very low. Bird of Sand will get a trade kill, but that's a big no, not enough damage just yet. The shutdown. 2.
Oh,
Humbler
the
is here. And he puts Arcade King back in his place. Jetset wasn't close enough to go for the kill. And again, even with the fix, Texas A&M just cannot get out of this unscathed. 2 go down after the jungler falls, and it ends up being a pretty much even trade between them, where yeah, if you're Texas A&M, you have to take any kind of trade at this point in the game, but USC still plenty easy in the driver's seat.
Yeah, the only good thing for Texas A&M is that they did not lose a tower there. If you want a
True.
slight silver
Genset
lining.
is dead though,
Oh.
so we'll see about that one.
Humbler.
Yep, good flank by Inferno. Genset already used the Channel Crystal Arrow. I think it might have been a misclick, as no one was under tower.
I did see a few Mia pings after that one.
Yep, and with this, yeah, tower just gonna fall down in mid lane. So finally, we'll lose the mid tier 1. Actually, did take a fairly long time for USC to get around to. So props to Texas A&M for holding it for that long of time in this deficit, as no one on their team has gold.
Very true.
There is no gold on Texas A&M.
We only have 2 mythics on the side of Texas A&M.
Yeah, there's no gold.
And that's on the 2 support players.
Even their best matchup here with the Victor into the Karma, the closest we've really seen. Actually, Orange the closest still at 0-3, only 500 gold down. That's
We'll
not,
say he is up in farm.
yeah.
He's up in farm.
Yeah, props to Rumblecopter for
Listen,
staying close in this one.
when you're down in the dumps like this, you got to get all the gold you can get. I respect it.
Yep, gonna go for a 16-minute Herald. Might have been able to save it a little bit longer, honestly, if they want to try to do the Baron Herald combo, where you can Herald with the Baron buff.
Oh, yeah.
Post 20 minutes, take that right before the end. We saw that, I believe in one of the series yesterday, someone tried to pull that one off, albeit a little unsuccessfully with the timing. Either way, USC very comfortable, 10-0, almost 3 items sitting in the inventory for Humbler. This Zaya is going to one-shot anybody. Screw the lethality build. You don't
Yeah.
need it when you're this far ahead.
Say we got a Lord Doms quickly on the way. Almost 3 items sub 20 minutes. That is
Yeah.
not good. That is a very scary sight to see.
And
Kim.
Rumblecopter's going for Kim.
But we have Greasy
Yeah,
Watermelon in the
another
back,
fight
but
in
mid
the
lane.
mid lane. Inferno gets knocked up. Humbler taking the depth charge, but yeah, Damon is here. That
The
means
double
everyone
cataclysm!
else has got her cheat. Jet
Oh,
set
no, he's
nowhere to
stuck in the
go.
wall.
The shield is gonna be not enough. USC Inferno claims 1 kill. Damon gonna grab another one on the backside as 3 fall down. It'll be at the bot lane play. Worked out and Kim's got away. Managed TP back in at the end of that. And they might just look to push down this mid lane inhibitor.
Yeah, it looks like we're just gonna siege here. Probably get some pressure on that mid inhib.
Oh, no, Damon's
Ooh,
gonna go
wait,
for the
Damon!
Damon's going for the fight.
Oh, the
Flings
throw!
it back over the wall.
Watermelon, no!
Ex-
That's not the right direction.
Express 100 gold delivery coming in as Rafflecopter managing to get away. Humbler
Oh.
going forward with the Feather Storm, and somehow Greasy Watermelon not going to get over the kill on the side.
No,
Knows he can
don't
pull back
do
the
it.
feathers.
Don't let him.
Oh, yeah!
No! Come on! I knew it was gonna happen. You saw the feathers that were there. You knew they were behind you. Why would you do that? No.
They glow.
Just 2 more seconds.
Oh, Bird of Sand.
Karma, no!
Oh, managed to walk away out of the Mantra Q as Tablea
Tablea?
buying some time here. He's trying to buy as much time as he can. Humbler grabs the other ones. Arcade King still sitting on the flank. They're waiting for these respawns to come through on Rafflecopter, I think, so they can try to pick some kind of fight or maybe just pick off a low health member. You see Inferno there very low as he comes out of his base, but instead the Victor just losing farm top lane to try to go for this cheese. Yeah, needs to go pick up some of that as Kimch grabbing this bot lane tier 2, and we are at 34 kills in 18 minutes as USC speeds towards the Nittany Invitational Championship.
Ooh, Crystal Arrow.
Oh,
Arrow
finally connects, and that might be a good kill as the CC
Ooh.
comes true. Can't move, shut down on the Greasy Watermelon, finally picking up some
A
gold.
good pick.
And right now, Kim's just saying, don't worry, guys. I reset Zin's goal.
No.
Yep, and still very far behind. You're not at a 20k gold lead yet, but USC kind of just waiting on the Baron here, honestly.
Yeah.
Not too much else you can push
Listen.
with mid inhibitor down.
Listen, A&M, their only hope is if USC does what Kim just did over and over and over again until the gold evens out. And at the very least, probably after the 5th one, I think they would kind of like close up shop and end the game. They're just so far ahead. They are so dominant right now. This is their game to lose. Even probably like with a few 2v1s, there's not really much
Oh,
they
they're
can
gonna look
do.
for Humbler here.
Oh, Humbler.
Has a Feather Storm though, so it's fine.
Orn might
Has
get
a
the lead in here.
lot of feathers, so Orn is just dead, but so is Humbler. That's 1,000 gold on a Victor. That's a huge shutdown. As Jet Set with Alchemy. Now there's no one to defend the base though, so Texas, I know you won the tier 1 turn, I know you won that bounty gold, but you guys gotta go home.
Your base, I mean,
Come on, there's a 250
oh, but
gold
it looks
bounty
like
on
USC
that.
might be a little preoccupied with Baron here. They might
Yep,
have a
pigs
little
on the
time.
Baron. They have the top turret low as well, but someone's got to pick up the super minions. It means the Baron contest is going to be a little bit late as Arcade King and Ash both down here in the bot lane.
Yeah.
And yeah, Baron already started up. They could probably just two-man this one,
Yeah.
as they know no one's in the area to steal it away. So despite the bot lane turret over the bounty gold being claimed, it's still actually a gold lead for USC.
No
and now,
vision, but
yes,
they know.
Super minions got to be dealt with here in base. I mean, this is the bright side about taking a free 20-minute inhibitor if you're Texas A&M.
Gold.
You're going to get all that gold in, but the problem is you give up so much map pressure, especially when you commit so hard to bot lane that this Baron is just free for USC.
I mean, there's really nothing you can do. A Suicide Smite at this point is just the game. You can't give that up. You have to defend your base. But at the same token, you just gave them Baron. Your base isn't going to be alive for that much longer.
Baron with a 15,000 gold lead. While Damon might be found out here, I'm pretty sure he's more than happy to turn this around as soon as he gets some reinforcements. Ooh, he barely misses Damon. Skirts away to the side. Now Bird of Sand in the air to help. Channel Crystal Arrow does not tag the Jarvan as he goes back in with the Montreux E. Tablea grabs a good dredge line. This might be enough CC to take out the jungler. Damon, though, great EQ combo to get away. Good. Oh, the Cataclysm, and everyone just blows up. So much damage coming through. Victor doing something, but Kim just cannot die. Finally, Raffle off the champion to call the Forge God, but it's an easy hook shot away from Kim to the bot lane for USC. Still pushing forward. Raffle slow, taking out the second proc of the Monster Q, and Bird of Sand claims another. Now Jet Set caught on the other side, managed to grab the blast over, but that
But
is
Humbler and
your
Inferno
base.
are cleaning up your house.
Baron up Infinity as Jet Set goes for the reset, gives one more kill for the word of Bird of Sand, and that, my friends and ladies and gentlemen, will be your series. Two Nexus turrets stand in the way of USC and the victory. Tablea, the only one left alive. The last Nexus turret falls, he'll flash in and try to buy some time. Glitch will Fissure coming out to stall out and now. That is too easy for Humbler to clean up. There's the Feather Storm, just as the cherry on top. Arcade King tries to retreat in the fountain. The KDA not even need to be played for. USC will be your 2022 Nittany Invitational Champions.
My goodness.
Close game. Close game.
In the
you don't
beginning,
say
there was
that.
I will say this: before the gold spiraled out of control,
You know, before
for the first
for 2 minutes,
7 minutes, it was a close game. 10 minutes is where we hit the 10K gold lead. That was a little rough. A lot can happen in 3 minutes, but USC, what a series! Oh my God! Like they came to play, they came to show, they showed off. Their bot lane was crazy. Humbler is just a god amongst men. Spectacular play from both teams. Damon, shouts out to them too.
Yep.
Good lord.
Well played game by USC. Left no room for breathing. Humbler, my goodness, man. That Zaya performance was incredible. Damon as well having a fantastic series on the Jarvan. 2 exquisite games. Besides that level 1 play, that was a little...
Yeah, listen.
But, you know, you gotta have
He got
one.
it out of his system. He got it out.
You gotta have the one.
Yeah.
Either way, congratulations to USC. Thank you for all the teams who participated in this year's Invitational. It's been a blast to cast and watch along the way. But USC, gonna be your 2022 Nittany Invitational champions. Well played, GG's, ladies and gentlemen. And for the last little nod out here on cast, I've been Infamous Trash.
I've been Pop Giraffe.
I've been Runkalicious.
Real quick shout out though, last before we leave. Real quick shout out to our analyst desk. Consolo, Rook.
I'm
Excuse
Runk.
me.
He's
Yeah,
Runk,
he's
that's
Rook. Consolo, Rook, Bane of Hades, and whichever gamer name, Aru. There we go. I'm sorry, it changes by the day. But big shout out to all of them. Thank you so much for helping, everyone for watching. And please, have a wonderful evening.
Yep. That'll be it here for our coverage of the Invitational. Thank you all so much for watching. And we will be back for PSULCS playoffs starting up next week, so that'll be
yeah.
fun. But that's all we have. We'll be turning it back over, I guess, to the analyst
I
desk for
guess.
one final
Do you
segment.
have
That's
some-
what I'm being slowed
you
up.
wanna
So
say
we'll do
some
some
goodbyes?
post-game analysis.
Yeah, post-game analysis, not bad.
That'll be it for us on the cast, though.
yeah.
So we'll be heading out. Thank you guys so much for watching.
See you next week.
Hello and welcome back to the analyst desk. It's just going to be me, Consolo, and Hades for this last little segment. We just wanted to show a few highlights that highlight the importance of the snowballing team comp that USC played. The first one was at about 5 minutes and 30 seconds. There was a big team fight around the bottom lane. I think we're going to be putting that on right now.
Yeah, this is the one that really started the snowball.
It started
in
the
favor of
snowball
USC.
off, and it really turned the game in favor of USC. It was relatively even before it, but USC just took that advantage, just started running with it.
While we're waiting, we just take a look at the general team comp again. Again, there was a focus on scaling from Tamu with the Orn pick, running it back for a lot of the draft.
Yeah.
And again, a hard engage, hard snowball idea from UNC.
Yeah, pretty much the same comps. Yep. So we're gonna be looking at the big team fight that happened just now. Oh, we're waiting for the.
Oh,
production.
we're waiting for
well,
it.
It's production. We'll wait for him.
Now, what are your thoughts on? Okay,
here it is,
Here
here
we
it is.
go. You can see here.
The
Greasy
fight begins.
Watermelon.
Greasy Watermelon gets picked off. Tommy Tablea is just trying to get something done. Dies for the process. The Humbler picks up a nice ult.
You can see here a big strength of the Karma mid here.
Yeah.
He was able to roam significantly much faster. He was bot lane. Victor is stuck mid, taking out the wave. And yeah, they just pull out the kills.
It was a 4v3, and the tides were turned in favor of USC.
Greasy Watermelon not having a good game overall, right? The Shinzao pick, we were talking about it earlier. It was kind of questionable. It's a strong early game jungler, but doesn't have as many options. to
It's
go
not
with.
it's not the carry jungler that Greasy Watermelon quite likes. Lee Sin is able to completely carry a game on his own if given the chance, but Jin Zhao just doesn't have that opportunity. And then, oh wait, you were gonna say something?
The second,
The second team fight also happens around the bot lane. It's at around 8 minutes and 20 seconds into the game, and this is where the snowball it just continues. USC is taking their advantage in this fight and just running as fast as they can away with it. This is. Oh wait, we played the 820 fight before. All right, this
Okay.
is. All right, we missed a little bit. We played the second team fight first before the first team fight, but this is where they were taking their advantage and they were just rolling with it.
you can see a late game Zaya pick. We were just
Yeah.
talking about this team fight. Late game
Yeah.
Zaya, they had no, Nautilus especially had no option to engage just because she has the Featherstorm to get out of it.
Yeah, Zaya is so powerful against the engage comp, like Jin Zhao, Nautilus, even Ashe ult, she can dodge just by pressing R. It's a very strong pick into them. And then the Karma mid pick we were just talking about. So Karma mid went AP this game instead of both games she went AP instead of the classic supportive mid, building healing and shielding power. She was doing quite a bit of damage, and the last highlight we have is just it shows off that little bit of extra power she gets from building full AP. It's around 12 minutes, 55 seconds into the game.
You can see going blind, they think they can get a nice little pick here, but an RQ decimating them.
Mantra Q out of Karma just completely decimates both of them.
And at this point, the game is
the
essentially
game,
over.
the game was already over at this point, but it just shows off just how strong. That was only with Luden's Echo and Sorcerer Shoes, a Dark Seal as well. But it was really just one item Karma that was able to take out both of them in one Mantra Q.
So yeah, overall, a very strong performance from USC. Both these games just snowballing out of control.
But I mean, both teams played pretty well, just according to how the drafts went. It was just TAMU couldn't stop the bleeding as hard as they wanted, but you know, a pretty good
I think
performance
that's
out of
pretty
both teams. Yeah.
So thanks to all the teams for supporting both TAMU and USC, and also every team that participated in the Nittany Invitational. Excellent performances all around.
Yeah, that's it. Make sure to check out the Overwatch competition that's happening right now over on twitch.tv/PSU Esports.
We'll set
And
you over there.
thanks for watching. Thanks to all the teams that competed. GG.
GG.